There were signs, clear signs, not loud, not dramatic, but quiet warnings that something was wrong. At first, they were easy to ignore. A strange feeling in my chest, a moment of discomfort after certain conversations, a small voice inside me whispering, "Be careful." But I ignored it. I told myself I was overthinking. I told myself everything would be fine. I told myself to be patient, and that decision cost me more than I ever imagined. Have you ever had the feeling that something wasn't right, but you kept going anyway? This is the story of how I ignored the warning signs and paid the price. At the beginning, everything seemed normal. From the outside, my life looked stable. People around me believed I was doing well. I smiled. I showed up. I carried on like everything was fine. But inside, there was a quiet discomfort I couldn't explain. It wasn't fear. It wasn't anger. It was a feeling that something was not right. Sometimes, after certain interactions, I would sit alone and feel uneasy. Not because something terrible had happened, but because something went off. I noticed small inconsistencies, words that didn't match actions, promises that were delayed again and again, excuses that sounded reasonable, but it repeated too often. Still, I ignored it because ignoring it was easier than facing the truth. And that was the first warning sign. As time went on, the warning signs became clearer. Situations that once felt small started to feel heavier. I began to feel tired more often. Not physically tired, but emotionally drained. I would give my time, I would give my energy, I would give my patience, but I rarely received the same in return. At first, I told myself, this is just a difficult season. Things will improve. I just need to be strong. But deep down, I knew something was changing. The peace I once had was slowly disappearing. One day, a close friend looked at me and said something I will never forget. He asked, "Are you okay?" Not in a casual way, but in a serious, concerned tone. I quickly replied, "Yes, I'm fine." But he didn't believe me. He said, "You don't look happy anymore." That statement stayed with me because for the first time, someone else had noticed what I was trying to hide. Still, I defended the situation. I made excuses. I explained away the problems. I convinced myself everything was under control. But deep inside, I knew I was ignoring the truth. There is something powerful about intuition, that quiet inner voice that tries to guide us. Mine spoke to me many times. Late at night, when everything was quiet, I would replay situations in my mind, moments that didn't make sense, words that didn't feel honest, promises that were never fulfilled. And each time, I felt the same uncomfortable feeling. But instead of listening, I silenced that voice. I told myself, don't be dramatic. Don't make a big deal out of nothing. Just give it more time. Looking back now, I realized something important. Ignoring your instincts does not make the problems disappear. It only delays the consequences. Then one day, everything changed. The situation I had been ignoring finally reached a breaking point. A promise was broken. Trust was shattered. Reality became impossible to deny. I remember sitting alone in silence. My heart felt heavy. My mind felt confused. My emotions felt overwhelming. I wasn't just disappointed, I was exhausted. Exhausted from trying, exhausted from hoping, exhausted from pretending everything was okay. And in that moment, I realized something painful. The warning signs had been there all along. I had simply refused to listen. Ignoring those warning signs came with a cost. I lost time I could never get back. I lost energy that could have been used for better things. I lost peace, the kind of peace that allows you to sleep without worry. But the hardest part was losing trust in myself. Because deep down, I knew I had seen the signs. I just chose to ignore them. And that realization hurt me more than anything else. Healing did not happen overnight. It took time, it took reflection, it took courage. But slowly, I began to learn an important lesson. Your instincts are not your enemy. They are your protection. That uncomfortable feeling, that hesitation, that quiet warning is often your inner wisdom trying to guide you. Today, I listen more carefully. When something feels wrong, I pause. I ask questions. I pay attention. I trust myself because I have learned that ignoring warning signs could lead to bigger problems later. So if you are listening to this right now and something in your life doesn't feel right, please don't ignore that feeling. Pay attention. Trust your instincts. Protect your peace. Because the smallest warning today can save you from the biggest regret tomorrow. Thank you for spending these moments with me. This is Tales and Lessons with Rose, where every story carries a lesson. If this story spoke to your heart, don't forget to subscribe and share it to someone who might need to hear it today. Until next time, take care of yourself.